Mine says off air. Sorry, guys. Hi, everybody. I'm Kara Flippin, and we are excited to welcome you, mostly probably Show Me Plexus, to our very first Pink Power call. We are going to start doing these every week, and this is our first one, and we have some super exciting guests for you guys. So go ahead.
And I'm Nikki Westerfield. I'm going to be doing it with her every week. We're so excited about it. Like she said, we have some super exciting guests. And we're just going to do a real thank you to Tim really quick. Tim Thomas is on the call, and Michelle Thomas, and Tim's helped us a lot to set this Hangout out, and he spent a lot of time with us, so we're just so thankful. And we want to say thank you to Tim for helping us and taking the time, because we know you're busy, to help us out. I'm just going to talk about real quick, like, how you guys inspired me for a second. I met Tim and Michelle in Salina, and I think I was only like an ambassador for like maybe a month. And I think, Michelle, you just hit Emerald, and you guys were talking about your scooter story, which I loved. And as soon as I got there, I remember I walked in, and Michelle was walking around asking for people with financial testimonials, and everybody on my team screamed my name. So here comes Michelle running to me and made me get up on the stage. Like, I really didn't want to do it, but she really didn't give me a choice. And I loved that, because it was like I had only been in for like a month, and I was doing good. And I got up there and I talked, and it was great. I love that she pushed me to do that, because it was like ripping off the Band-Aid real quick. And then after that, they did a training for like an hour, and I just learned so much. I recorded the whole thing on my phone, and it was like literally the best training ever. I just kept in contact with them. I live in Ohio, and they live in Ohio, and Michelle was the first Diamond Ambassador in Ohio for Plexus, so that's exciting. So I guess with that, I will take it over to Tim and Michelle. They are going to share a little bit about their story, if you guys will, and any tips and anything you guys have after that.
Awesome. Oh, thank you. I feel nervous. We do this every week, you know, and it's like it's different when you're on someone else's call. So thank you guys for having us.
Yeah.
It is definitely an honor to be on anyone else's team call, and hopefully we can give you guys some inspiration and tips that we like to share with our team.
Yeah, and I'm excited for you guys doing this. This is a big deal, branching out, taking it to another level, and showing true leadership.
Yeah.
This is kudos to you guys. This is awesome.
Also, just another thing, my very first, you guys are already doing 100 times better than what I did on my very first call. Live YouTube call, how many years ago? 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago, we did our first call, and I went live, and I didn't know I was live, and I sat there like this for like 2 minutes.
And she got up and walked away and came back.
2 minutes is a long time to be sitting there without saying a word. It was super awkward, and so I just want to let you guys know you're already like way ahead of me where I was, and I guess that'd be my first tip, is to fail forward.
Yeah.
That's like what my motto is just to keep going even when you really mess up.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay, so this month is actually a really special month for me, because this is my 3-year Plexiversary month. I joined November 28th 3 years ago, and this whole month I've been doing like these short little video clips for my team, just kind of telling them a little bit of what has made me successful, what's it taken to get me to Diamond. And obviously it's been a huge team effort, but there has been parts to play where we've just learned some really hard things along the way. So,
yeah.
Lots of hard things.
Yeah. Fail forward.
Fail forward, yeah.
We're coming back to that one.
Okay.
Already.
Anyway, so 3 years ago, I was, I still am, but I'm a stay-at-home mom, and Tim was working in Florida. So we were in Florida. We're in Ohio now, but we were in Florida at the time, and we were there because of a job. It was a job that paid the bills, but financially we were still really strapped because we have 3 kids and they're in sports and all of the extra fun stuff that they like to do. Finances were really tight. So I was doing little tiny, side jobs, anything I could do to still be a support, still be there for my kids, at home and for Tim. I would, go hand out flyers or any little money I could make to help, just with anything extra. And I got a call one day from my best friend in Tennessee. Her name was Sonia Dudley. And she called me and she said, I'm doing this thing and it's going to be amazing and it's called Plexus and it's going to do this, this, and this and I'm going to win a trip to Maui and I'm going to earn a Lexus. This was like her first conversation with me. And I told her, I said, well, it makes sense for you to do that because you're a little country bumpkin and you've done network marketing a ton of times with different companies and she's always successful. And I said, it makes sense for you, but it doesn't make sense for me. I'll never do network marketing. We had committed.
I had actually said, at that point, I said, we're never doing network marketing. I just said, I just refuse. We are not going to do network marketing.
It says trophy wife. I painted that. Yeah, so that's where we were.
There's a story behind that, but
yeah. Anyways, okay, so we basically were committed to never doing it. Anyways, so but she was a really good friend of mine, so she would call me all the time and tell me all the success she was having with Plexus, people that were joining, and all that stuff.
I was really skeptical about network marketing because you know, I had been around several people in our family that had been involved in different things.
And they had bought into the dream. We had several people in our family that had joined other companies, and it was just a lot of hype.
And there was a lot of talk about success, but I would see people doing things, and they would do it for a long time, and you never heard them actually making money. And because the products, it would fizzle out, and the products were generally speaking things that you could get anywhere else anyway, and it just didn't make sense to me. Plexus was different, but I didn't get it right away.
No, so anyways, after 3 months of watching my friend do Plexus, she posted on Facebook and she tagged me in that post. And so tip one, if you have a friend that's skeptic and says no to you, tag her in your post. So anyways, so she tagged me in my post, and my sister saw that post, and my sister was going through some tough physical or health issues, some autoimmune issues, and she was also up and down in weight. And so she saw that post and she called me and she said, what is this that your friend is doing? I want to know about it and I think we should do the business. Like that was what got me started in Plexus. So I said, well, I'll join first and you can join me. And so we joined Plexus at that point. My sister, I called my friend and I said, well, we're joining. And she was like shocked, floored, because I had told her no for 3 months and told her we would never do it and it would never make sense for me to do this. And so anyways, she was floored. I joined, and within 6 weeks I had lost 16 pounds, so that was exciting. So the weight loss for me was exciting, and I feel like I got into it for weight loss for myself personally, but that's definitely not what keeps us passionate.
And side note here on that part, when she joined, she came to me first and she said, can I join this? Because I mean, it was a big deal. It was a big deal for her to sign up for this, and you know, because everybody out there who goes, oh well, it's too expensive. Look, I totally know where you're coming from. I have been there. That was what I was thinking. In the back of my head, when I said, well, if you can make $50 a month, that would be really helpful. In the back of my mind, you know, I'm thinking, so it's going to cost $100. So roughly, I have to figure out where this other $50 is going to come from.
That's how tight we were.
That's how tight we were. And so I totally get it when people think that way. But I am sure glad that I said okay, you know, because. Well, we'll tell you why, but it was awesome.
Anyway, so the minute I joined, I knew I had to do the business right away. I couldn't wait for any kind of a testimony because I knew the only way I was going to keep up with taking the products was to make enough money to pay for the products. And so I started doing the business right away, and numbers was my thing. So I really got into the compensation plan. I understood the compensation plan right away within the first month, and I was there to maximize the compensation plan. And so that was like my big driver, is the money, but also the products changed our lives. And my family was desperate for these products, and desperate with a capital D. And I won't even spell it because I'm not a good speller, but desperate for the product. So anyways, I would probably spell it right. Anyways, so past that, we hit Emerald, which is the first top position in the company in 1 year. and then it took me 2.5 years to go diamond. So
I joined the company about 4 months after she did, and after she hit emerald, the following 2 months following that, I was able to leave my full-time job that I'd moved down to Florida for, so that I could actually go full-time with Plexus. And the funny story that goes along with that, we had sold our vehicle to move to Florida, and our second vehicle. So we only had one car when we got down to Florida, and so I was driving a scooter to work, a white scooter.
He loved it.
And it had a bumper sticker on it because I wanted everybody to know I was in on the joke, that it said trophy husband on it, which is why she held this up, trophy wife. But so, like, literally, I'm driving this scooter to work, and I mean, I got caught in hail, rainstorms, lightning. I almost got run over a couple times. I mean, it was scary, but you know what? I kept doing it because there was a point at which we could have bought another car, because we were making enough money with what she was bringing in for Plexus. But then we heard, you can win this Lexus. They will pay for a Lexus for you. And so that was just big motivation for us. And we held out, and we were able to get our first Plexus Lexus after 11 months in the company. So it was pretty amazing.
Well, 1 year.
Well, 1 year. Okay, sorry.
So that's kind of our story in a
nutshell. Yeah, I mean, we could keep going on and on with our story.
But I know you had some other questions for
us.
Yes. I just wanted to see what you guys think about, like, how important it is to, like, have belief. I know, like, everybody always says, like, if you don't have belief, like, you know, it's not going to help you to not have the belief. What is your guys' take on that?
Well, I can tell you that last year, when after we had made the move to Ohio, she was Emerald, and we had made the move to Ohio. I was still Senior Ruby at that time. And we came to a point in our business where it really kind of got rocky, flatlined, and started to dip.
He was Senior Ruby, and he lost rank.
Yeah, I actually lost rank for a couple months, and
just his points dropped.
It was scary, you know. It was really scary, but it was during that time that we really dug in, and we really you ask how important belief is. Belief is what got us to now where she's a diamond and I'm an emerald. Okay, because if we had given up and let what the circumstance were showing us determine how we reacted, there's absolutely, I guarantee you, no way we'd be sitting here right now having this conversation.
No.
It was belief. It was belief in the products first, Plexus as a company, and ourselves. But we had to build, and network marketing. But we had to build the hardest part to build was the belief in ourselves. But I mean, it was choices that we made little by little that got us back to where, you know, it was that belief, and then those choices that got us back to where we needed to be to keep moving forward.
I'll tell you that when I was an emerald and I moved back to Ohio, and if no one's ever struggled in this business, then maybe they don't understand this, but we were going backwards a little bit in points, and I was probably almost a couple months from possibly losing my emerald rank at the rate we were kind of dipping back and forth with points. And I was very scary because, I mean, obviously we're still making good money, but at the same time, you know, we wanted to go forward. And that is right about that point is when we went to Maui, our first Maui trip. And I get to Hawaii, and I'm standing in the shower, and I'll never forget it because I feel like it was a defining moment in my business. And I was standing in the shower, and I realized that I had never imagined myself doing my own diamond documentary. And I had never imagined it, and I couldn't picture myself achieving that kind of success because it made sense for other people, but it didn't make sense for me personally. And And I stood there and just allowed myself to imagine what I would want in my diamond documentary, and actually let it sink in, and I just cried. And from that, there was something that changed in there. And then I came back. We started doing a personal development and personal growth group with Sonia Dudley, and she made us do a dream board. And I also had never, I felt like I'm such a worker, like a worker bee, like I'm just going to do it, that I wasn't inspiring people to believe for more. And because I wasn't believing for more. And I felt like from that point on, how I talked, how I trained, how I did my business, how I did my opportunity meetings, we changed up everything. We changed up the way we did everything. Mm-hmm. When we did an opportunity meeting, we're like, if you walk out of here today and do not join Plexus, you are missing out of the opportunity of a lifetime. And it was like this unshakable belief that we are absolutely in the right place at the right time with the right company, the right compensation plan, period. Anyways.
I'm so glad that you took the time to share that and share, like, be really transparent and not be afraid to share that your points went backwards, because I know so many ambassadors have experienced that, myself included, and it is super easy to have belief and think that this is an amazing company and an amazing opportunity whenever, you know, you're moving forward. But when you get stuck, sometimes that's when it gets a little shaky. Right. And I mean, that's just something that I feel like is so important, is personal growth and just trying to figure out, like, picture yourself. Do you really picture yourself, you know, driving that Lexus? Do you really picture yourself doing that diamond documentary? You know, do I picture myself, like, being able to retire my husband? Like, all of that stuff. I just thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you learn how to be a leader in the tough times. You learn how to be a strong leader in the tough times, and really leadership is made or broken in those tough times. And that's where you see a lot of people just fall and they can't pick themselves back up. Yeah. I mean, if it's difficult, they don't know what to do. And they go with their business instead of rising above, and you know, that's when the real muscles in leadership are built.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, I guess I have another question for Tim. I know so many men look up to you as one of the few ambassadors that is doing pretty well. And Tim has, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but Tim has a new series out, and he's done one episode so far, right?
Yep, I just started last week.
And it's called Plexus for the Guys, and I'm super excited about it. I know it seems like everybody seems to have a theory that Plexus is just for women, and there's many guys in the business, but I think that guys tend to struggle sometimes and don't have that confidence. And do you have any tips for that, for the guys out there that are just getting started and, you know, are kind of need that confidence boost?
Yeah, something that that's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I don't know what's driving me necessarily. I believe that it's the fact that, well, I'm a man, so I identify with it, but I feel that there's such a huge opportunity here, and I want to reach as many people as possible, and so I feel like we're missing a big segment if we're not really going after the guys. That said, I don't think that it's just Plexus that men struggle with. I think network marketing in general can sometimes be something that I'm not saying that there's a lot of men in network marketing, don't get me wrong, and there are men who do extremely well. But I had a conversation with someone who'd been in a network marketing company, I think it was last year. I had this conversation with him. It was another man, and he basically just said that, you know, women do it better as far as network marketing goes. They just seem to get it faster. And so the challenge is, for me, is how is it that I've reached where I'm at, and how can I show other people how to do the same thing? And what I really realize is that it comes down to I believe, this is my personal opinion, but I believe that women are more naturally geared towards networking. It's more of like a natural God-given thing that
and
women
relationships,
building relationships. I mean,
friends.
when I say networking, what do I mean by that? Building relationships, making friends, talking to more people. You know, just generally speaking, being out there and talking to people. And it's not that there aren't guys who do that. I just think that more in general, women do that. And so, network marketing, Plexus being in network marketing, it is not as natural, but I will say this. I believe it's a skill. I believe that becoming a good network marketer, becoming a good networker is a learnable skill, and if men will apply themselves to that, then absolutely, positively, you can be successful in Plexus. The best advice I can give you would be to, if you want to be successful in Plexus, first of all, you have to look at yourself. Do you talk to people? Besides the few people that you work with, do you talk to anybody else? No? Well, that could be an indication that you have not built very many networking skills. Okay? Do you get on social media and comment? Do you reply to anything? Do you talk to anybody on social media? No? Then you probably need to build some networking skills. When you respond to people, are you extremely direct, or do you think about what you're going to say first before you say it? And do you think diplomatically? Because a lot of times guys can be, much more direct. And there's nothing wrong with directness. I believe in being direct. But I mean, are you thoughtful? Do you think about what that person might be thinking when you're talking to them? Because if you're not, then you're more interested. You could be more interested in what you think than what they think, and it's going to be difficult to connect with them. I'm asking this to guys because I'm a guy and I understand how we sometimes can be. So I'm saying that there are skills that you need to learn to be a good networker, and some guys already have them and they're going to be successful in network marketing. But if that's not you, if you can't answer yes to any of those questions, and there's more of them, then you probably need to work on your networking skills. And if you will choose to do that, then you can be successful and will be successful. I believe you'll be successful in Plexus, because Plexus, what it has going for it that I think makes it so unique and so good, and is the opportunity to get involved with, is the fact that we have incredible products that speak for themselves. And we have an incredible compensation plan that actually does far better than most every other compensation plan you've ever seen. Okay? So those two things are already running for you. It's just like taking the products. You can have great blood sugar levels. Plexus can help you with that part. Plexus can help you lower your blood pressure, possibly. You might be feeling really good. But if you don't add anything to it, it's only going to go so far. If you choose to start adding your part to it, then you can go as far as you want. That's how I view it. So, I mean, that's kind of a long way of saying it, but that would be my best advice. So, a book I would recommend, I'll just throw this one out there, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Amazing book. If you want to get started networking, start by learning how to win friends and influence people, then learn all the other stuff. But start right there.
And can I just note, too, for all the guys out there, because one thing that I just observed, is that Tim has really pushed himself to become a better him. Like he went and became a certified personal trainer, and he wasn't even into working out. Like, he was just trying to figure out ways to make himself, like, have more appeal and have more training. And then he went and started working out, and then he started help training at a gym, and he's gotten more relationships with people that way. Also, we both worked retail for a lot of years, and we were in management, and so we look at this as a professional thing. He trains women in Plexus, and he doesn't look at it as anything weird, but he used to train women when he was in sales, when he was a sales manager. So it's like, yeah, it's the same type. It's not like he's going and spending one-on-one time with them or personal time with them.
Well, it's like, that's one of the things that guys ask a lot of times. How do I talk to women? I mean, that's definitely a guy question. How do I talk to women? But
your face is getting red.
Yeah, it is. But as far as
how do you talk to women?
Yeah, I'm not going to go into all of that. But in this one area, I can say this, that you have to be really simple and just
like unashamed.
Unashamed. Still. I mean, you have to be like Michelle already said it. The word is professional. You have to think of yourself as a professional. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna be a certified personal trainer, you're gonna be working with men and women. So you have to choose. Am I going to be a professional? How am I going to talk to somebody? I'm definitely going to be a professional. So that's how I look at this. If you have a conversation with someone, about weight, that can be a sensitive issue. How are you going to approach it? Completely professionally. Let them talk. Let them use your ears first, and say fewer words, and then let the conversation open up. But learn first the skills of just being, a friend. That's really what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. How to win friends and influence people. So anyway, I'm rambling on. I'm going to stop there.
Oh, you're fine. That was awesome, actually. And honestly, some of the things that you said, I just think of some people that I know that aren't men and don't have those social skills that are women as well. So I think that some of it isn't just a guy thing. Some women could work on those issues as well, like as talking to people and being more engaged in things and having more relationships with people as well.
Agreed.
For sure. And Michelle, I just want to see if you have any advice for moms working at home, and like how you keep your focus, and if you like have like daily things that you do, and Tim, you too, if you guys do like daily things to keep you guys motivated and like on the right track.
Yeah, definitely. When I got into Plexus, I had no network marketing skills, but there were things that I had that there were like experiences in my life that actually caused me just to do some little things that actually gained me a lot of success that I didn't realize was a network marketing skill. And so anyways, one thing that I recommend people doing is using a timer. I'm like a big person about not just doing something with your business daily, but actually being intentional with your business. Have an intentional time. I actually follow, like if I've been crazy or we've been traveling or, not really been consistently at home or, on a routine, as soon as I get back, I get I have like a 2-hour work plan. It's my work day, 2-hour work day. And it's actually like broken down into 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and it's broken down by minutes. And the reason why it's broken down by minutes is because I will literally set a timer, and that is my intentional, like nothing else. I'm not doing nothing else. I'm not checking a message. I'm not checking anything else, but I'm intentionally going to, like, one of my things is go for no. So try to reach out to 3 new people every day. So however that happens, if I have to text message them to try to chat later, to set up an appointment, to set up a meeting, whatever, I'm going for no every day. Well, I give myself 15 minutes to do that. You could do way more than 3 people in 15 minutes, but it's intentional. It's just intentional. A lot of times people waste a lot of time and they think they've worked their Plexus business, and actually working their Plexus business doesn't take a lot of time, but it needs to be very intentional. One thing, read a health article. So I set a timer for 15 minutes, and I will go and I'll read about health for 15 minutes. And people think 15 minutes, what can you accomplish in 15 minutes? You would be shocked. Mm-hmm. If you're intentional about anything, you're shocked by what you can do in that amount of time. So stay-at-home moms, listen, there's people out here that have 11 kids, diamond ambassadors with 11 kids, homeschool, the whole bit. No excuses. Absolutely no excuses. If you can't do it as a stay-at-home mom, then how are you going to inspire full-time working moms to do it? That's what I say.
I feel like breaking it down into minutes is the best advice I've ever received in my life, because I am a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids, two and a 9-month-old.
Yeah.
And you try to be intentional sometimes, and then, Lexi's crying, or, Grace needs me or something. So just really giving yourself those minutes to focus is, because I'll do the same thing. I'll give myself a couple hours, but I don't break it down into minutes.
Well, and I'll add to that just one little thing, and it goes right along with what she's saying. Prioritize your minutes. Mm-hmm. However you do it, you have to have your priorities straight. And I don't care what you have going on in your business, the first thing that you need to take care of is your personal contacts. You're
Reaching
reaching out to new people.
Reaching out, following up, and training people on your team are your 3 priorities.
But the first thing though is got to be reaching out to people. I mean, because when it comes right down to it, that's the one thing that directly affects your productivity.
Yeah.
The other things will indirectly affect your productivity because you'll be talking to your ambassadors and they'll go out and you know, be productive, and that's indirectly affecting it. But if you talk to somebody that's new, that is directly affecting your productivity.
So yeah, lastly, just for you know, anybody doing the business, stay-at-home mom, working parents, whatever, whoever you are, the biggest thing is to be intentional and to do it consistently. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it does take daily time. It's a whole big difference whether you do this daily or you do it once a week for a bigger chunk of time. I'd rather you spend 15, 20 minutes every day than spend 2 hours on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. I promise you it will make or break this business.
Everybody can find 15 minutes.
I'm telling you.
Everybody can find 15 minutes.
Totally agree. And I think a lot of us, and I do it myself, get on and you think that you're doing work, but then you end up like scrolling and doing things that aren't as productive as other things that you could be doing.
Yeah.
So, I think we could all definitely learn from that. So that was really good advice. Thanks. I do have one more question if you guys don't care. Do you have any tips for those that are silver that want to get to gold? I know that's kind of a big jump for like just getting into the business, and it's like you sign your 3 people and then you're trying to get to gold. So do you guys have any like tips that you guys share with your team about that?
I am really passionate about silver ambassadors because I feel like that silver to gold is one of the biggest jumps in Plexus, because as a silver ambassador you don't have a whole lot of people on your team, so it's easy to kind of mentally be able to quit, you know, to give up. But then once you get to gold, you finally got a few people that's excited with you. You know, a lot of times you have a couple leaders on your team, so it's a big jump. But silver to gold is huge. So just a couple things that I would recommend. Launch parties. Try to get people doing launch parties right away, whether it's an online event, whether it's in your house, wine and cheese, coffee and crackers, whatever. You know, just do something simple to get a bunch of people over right away. A couple other things that I tell people, no matter what, okay, like no matter if you're a silver ambassador, you're a gold ambassador trying to get to senior gold, like no matter what, I came up with a thank you. It's kind of late. I came up. I'm not a night person or a morning person. So I like to go to bed early and sleep in late. That would be my dream. We don't. We go stay up late. Anyways, I came up with an acronym, and this to me is like the building blocks of your Plexus business. Okay, this is called CPR. So if you want to have CPR in your business, if you feel like you're struggling, you want to get it to life, or if you just joined and you want to take it off the ground, or if you've been inconsistent and you want to get consistent, like what is it going to take? Well, CPR basically is C, just so you'll remember, C is consistency. Okay, so just consistently work your business like we already talked about, reaching out to and prioritize. So consistently working your business. P is personal development. So if you are a silver ambassador, you need to look at yourself as a leader. If you have one person on your team, you've forfeited the right to give up. So people are looking, they joined you, they did not just join Plexus. So you have got to learn how to lead. And that's a big deal. A lot of people do not know how to lead. And then the R is relationships. Get really good at building relationships. And people get people to join underneath them, and then they don't know how to develop them, and they don't know how to spend time with them and help them get off the ground. And you know, that's where we're building relationships with your level ones, helping them make a list of 100 people, star the top 20, helping them get to silver. Like people always say, like, how do you help someone get to silver? Well, you lay it out for them. You know, how do you help someone get to silver? And because really, silver is the power of 3. So if you're a silver ambassador, your goal is to get your people to get 3 people, and then for them to get 3 people. So the power of 3 is the very basics of this whole business. So silver is where it starts for everyone. So if you're silver, when you get to gold, will help your people get to silver, and then go add 3 new people and help them get to silver, and then go add 3 more people and help them get to silver. And it's the basics of this business. So if you want to get to silver, you help your person get on the phone with them. And another thing, I'm sorry, I'm going to get preachy here, is that people really struggle to get on the phone. They want to hide behind Messenger when they're talking to their team. Get on the phone with your level 1s. You need to get out of Messenger and actually get out of texting and get on the phone where you're talking back and forth, finding out what people's why are, what drives them, help them come up with a list of 100, start the top 20, and help them go after these people. 3-way calls.
Let me just say something real quick on that note with the calling people.
Yeah.
Is that when I was stuck and trying to get to Emerald, one of the biggest things that I changed about my business was I began to really pick up the phone and make phone calls.
Old school. Take it old school.
I mean, that was that personal interaction with people.
And people are scared of the phone.
All the difference in the world.
You go talk to 20 people on your team right now and ask them how many times they pick up the phone, and I promise you, they don't want to. They will hide behind Messenger and text message all day long, and it will hinder your growth and success.
So true. Great advice, guys. I'm like learning so much. I love it. Do you guys have anything else? I think that's all I have for the questions. Kara, can you think of any questions that you have for them?
No, not specifically. I really appreciate all the advice that you guys did give. It was a lot of great information that I think anybody can use just starting out to pretty advanced high-rank ambassadors.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys are doing great, and I'm just so proud of you guys for stepping out there. And I know
kudos. This is
we didn't start our first call until I was Emerald, and so I know that it's a big deal, and the momentum will build, and it's helped us gain a lot of momentum with our team. So I know it's going to do the same for you guys.
Yeah, you guys are great leaders, by the way, and I hope your teams realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Thank you guys so much for your inspiration and taking so much time to help us figure this whole thing out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Tim spent a couple hours at least trying to help us out, and then we got stuck a couple days ago when we were like, we got to practice. Can you, like, jump on for real quick? And, like, me and Kara decided to practice by ourselves first, and that was a mess. So Tim kind of saved us on that. So it was a mess.
All right, well, you guys got it now, so take it and run.
I'm excited. This is awesome. One more thing. We just want to talk about the contest, and you guys can share what you guys are thinking about it too. November to Remember contest. This is like none I've ever seen since I've been with Plexus. I'm so excited about it. I just did a video actually to kind of break down everything, and I'll share that as well. I already have on our team page, but I don't think that anyone understands how like crazy this is. Like just even adding 2 people to your team and 2 new customers, like how like awesome that is. You get around like a $300 bonus added to your check, and that's awesome Christmas money. And I just love that Plexus is like helping families and giving us this opportunity right around Christmas to make this like bonus cash. And one of the things that I was talking about in my video that I did was if you get the $1,000 bonus, which is getting 8 customers and 8 ambassadors, by the time you add in the welcome pack bonuses, the PV that you're getting, the commission that you're getting for your PV being $1,500, you're getting like $1,775 just from adding 8 ambassadors and 8 customers. So Plexus is giving you a $1,000 bonus, but you're really getting at least $1,775, $1,775 plus. I didn't include the preferred bonuses or the 5% you get from your sales from your team, but it's just crazy how much money that we can make on this contest. I don't think that people are like grasping a hold of it.
Yeah.
So even if you signed up today, try to at least get a few new customers, 2 or 3, and you're getting a couple of $300 to $600 added onto your Plexus paycheck. So I just think that's really cool.
I just know for our society, Christmas is the most magical time of the year, but it's also one of the most stressful times of the year, and people really start worrying about money and starting to, rack up their credit cards and things like this. And this is just a really great opportunity to take that stress off of your family and help your friends relieve some of that stress too, because it's some quick ways to earn some great bonuses.
Absolutely.
Yep. We couldn't agree more.
That's right.
Yeah, and build your business too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Well, you guys put it perfectly. There's nothing else to say to it except for just go out and do it. It's worth it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I guess we'll end with that. Thank you guys so much for being on the call. I'm like so excited that you guys were the first ones to be on our first call. So I couldn't be more proud. So thank you guys so much, and thanks Tim for all your help helping us get it together and everything. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, congratulations on this, guys.
Thank you so much.
Good night.